What's up guys, this is KhUnlimited. Today I have another video for you guys, and today I'm going to be reviewing episode 92 of Dragon Ball Super. I'm hoping it's 92, I think that's the number. And this episode, like the last one, wasn't the best or the most exciting, which I understand. They're trying to kind of tone it down right before the tournament. They can't really have exciting episodes every week. But I do have to say, my favorite parts of the episodes are now whenever they show Universe 6. That's kind of the most interesting universe to me right now, whenever they show, because the last few episodes they've been kind of jumping to different universes, showing what they've been doing. This episode we got Universe 7, the one we're in, we got Universe 6, and we got Universe 3. I'm pretty sure we only got those three from what I remember. I watched the episode like 5 days ago, so like some of it might be off. But yeah, that's what we saw. Universe 3, we mostly just saw two people. One of them is kind of like a person who can modify their fighters. I'm not sure if he's actually on the team. I don't think he's on the team. I think he's just modifying the fighters to make them do better. But that's all we know about him. And we also saw one of the fighters. Now the fighters, I don't know if he's like a person from the universe that's been modified, or if it's like completely made by the person who modified him or made him, because he seems completely robotic. But the God of Destruction also seems robotic, but I don't think he's a robot, so we really don't know much about that. But I'm gonna assume that he's just a modification of someone, because that's what the person who modified him said, that he modifies people, and that he's gonna be modifying the rest of the fighters on the Universe 3 team. Now that part, it was kind of interesting. It kind of I don't really have too much faith from what we saw of the fighter. It just seems that the Universe 3 is just focusing on how to survive with their people, which is a good tactic, but the way they're doing it, I don't think it will work. There's like the fighter, he has like suction cups to stay on the stage, he has iron claws to stay on the stage, and that's really all we saw. He could like spin really fast, like his arms and legs could stretch, but really I don't think that's gonna be, you know, like too helpful. It will be helpful, but kind of on the tier of fighters that we know, such as Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, or even Krillin, I'm pretty sure they could kind of like break his arms off or legs off pretty easy, unless they're made out of some material which is kind of unbreakable for them. Other than that, they don't really, Universe 3 doesn't really seem like too interesting to me. Universe 7, all we really got was Goku going to Boo's place and seeing that he is asleep. And oh yeah, also yeah, I kind of predicted this last week and I was right. So did a lot of people predict this, but word got out that Goku was lying, that there isn't going to be a 10 million Zenny prize, that this is actually fighting for the universe, and if you lose you die. Everyone found out about this when Krillin brought it up, and Gohan's like, what are you talking about, there is no 10 million Zenny prize. And when Goku got back, they all found out. So I'm pretty sure they all know about it now. Pretty sure they know about it. So yeah, there's just kind of a little moment where Krillin's kind of mad at Goku. He's like, why would you do this? You're my best friend. Then Beerus threatened Krillin that he had to join the tournament. So yeah, that was that. And Bulma's gonna end up paying the price to people who do want it, such as Android 18 or maybe even Tien. So yeah, that's all we had with Universe 7. And Universe 6 was pretty interesting to me because we actually got more lore behind how Super Saiyan works, which is pretty cool to see, since it's been like years since like we first heard of Super Saiyan, like back in Dragon Ball Z. So the fact that we're actually getting more information about it now is pretty cool, and I think this is just Toei or Toriyama just taking advantage of the situation. Now that we actually have new Saiyans learning Super Saiyan, they're like, why don't we just add on to the history or the lore of Super Saiyan and add on to how it kind of works, because they actually have the situation where they're able to do that. Is not gonna sound kind of bullshit, like if they randomly brought up in Universe 7, like, oh, you know how you like pinch your back to turn Super Saiyan? It's not anything like that. In this way, it kind of seems natural. Kaba explained to Caulifla how he turns Super Saiyan. He kind of focuses some feeling in his back. That's how they explained it, and that's how he turns Super Saiyan. And Caulifla did it. Oh god, sorry. Caulifla did it, and next episode, Kale's also gonna do it from the next episode preview from what we saw, and she then turned into kind of like the brawly looking Super Saiyan. Now, that's kind of mostly what happened. A lot of people are mad with how Caulifla turned Super Saiyan because it was so easy for her, and everyone keeps bringing it back to comparing it to like Goku or Vegeta, like how hard it was for them to turn Super Saiyan, how much of a legend it was. Now the thing I don't really agree with these points when people complain is because first they say, oh, it was such a legend, it was such a hard thing to get to. But you gotta understand, it was a legend in Universe 7, not in Universe 6. In Universe 6, it might have been a lot easier. They could have different legends, so you can't really compare Universe 7's legend to Universe 6. Second of all, they always say, oh, how is it that they're getting it so easy when Goku had to go through so much shit to turn Super Saiyan? Also, this is a completely different universe. They were brought up differently. They're genetically a bit different too. As we know, Goten and Trunks, the kid Goten and Trunks, they turned to Super Saiyan very easily because one of the reasons were that they're prodigies, and when you're tailless, they didn't have tails, that it's a lot easier for them, and they're just prodigies. So you can kind of take that to Universe 6 if you want a comparison. Kaba already mentioned how I think he said that he didn't know that Saiyans had tails, or they just kind of evolved in a way that they don't have tails. Because of that, you can assume that they're prodigies, or they're kind of more gifted like Goten and Trunks. And even more, Goten and Trunks are kind of like the first generation of tailless Saiyans. Based on what Kaba said, you can assume that he's not the first generation to not have tails. They've been kind of evolving and evolving without tails for a very long time. So based on that, you can probably, you know, assume that they're more gifted than regular Saiyans, and so turning Super Saiyan isn't really that much of a hurdle for them. So I really get annoyed when people kind of complain like, oh, how is it that they're turning Super Saiyan? It was so hard for Goku. But no, it really makes sense to me. I kind of like it, and I kind of like the lore of the back thing. We kind of know more about it, because before that, people used to just speculate like on Reddit or whatever that, oh, they just completely flex their body, you know, they get angry every time, which obviously isn't the case now. You just have a feeling in your back and you do it. Now, yeah, so that's what we know, and I kind of like that we got that piece of information. Now, other than that, in the episode, there wasn't too much. That was really mainly it. I just really like the Universe 6 part. We could talk about the next episode preview. So in the next episode preview, we see Kale becoming her Super Saiyan. Now, I kind of want to see how her Broly Super Saiyan version's going to look like in the normal animation of the show. What I mean by that is whenever the only time we've seen her like kind of her Broly transformation is like when they like go like full on high budget animation, which is the intro. And the next episode preview literally looked like it was cut from the intro. It was like that kind of good fidelity, like nice looking animation. So I kind of want to see how she looks like normally, how Kaba and Khalifa are going to react. And also, more interestingly to me is that we saw Khalifa in Super Saiyan 2. So I want to see how that goes about. So does Khalifa say like, oh, I can feel more power, and just transform to Super Saiyan 2? Because we do see her in Super Saiyan 2 in the next episode preview. Her hair is completely different, and it's very similar to Goku Super Saiyan 2. So yeah, that's about it. So overall, I really liked the episode. Not as much as the other ones, but I mainly like the Universe 6 part. That's what I mean. It wasn't the best, but Universe 6 part, I like that they expand on the lore of Super Saiyan, and I just kind of like that they're still going to different universes, setting it up. Now there's 3 hours left before the tournament starts, so we are getting really close. Next episode preview obviously focused on that Goku's gonna be going for Frieza, and we're gonna see how that ends up. It looks like that Frieza has some kind of condition he wants Goku to meet. We don't know what it is, but from the preview, it looks like they're gonna fight in hell. Maybe that's a condition, we don't know. You see Frieza go to Golden Frieza, and it looks like they're about to spar. So yeah, that's all we know. So yeah, that's all I want to talk about. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, comment about your opinions on this episode, and yep, thanks for watching.